Welcome to Grow Green Barbados. I'm your host, Dr. David Bynoe, and today we're focusing on green sprouts. And they emanate from the seed, which is the genesis of all things green. So when we're talking about green sprouts, it means that from sprouts we can diversify the output within our garden. Not only sprouts we can produce, but we can also produce microgreens, of course seedlings. And with a little knowledge, you'll be able to do all that and more. All you need would be some seeds, and ideally you can choose mung beans because they're pretty easily to germinate. It grows really fast, and you can find them in supermarkets across the island. Now, in addition to that, I'm gonna ask you to get a paper towel, get a small tray, and we're getting innovative because we want you to find simple things that are available around the house. So you can even get a small baking tray. You can get a top of a shoebox. That can work. In addition, we want you to get some compost because we're going to look at microgreens as well. And you get a jar, and that's basically it. We can add to that also a watering can, and then we're good to go. We're ready to grow green, Barbados. Join us. When we talk about sprouts, this is the first vegetative growth that ensues after germination. And we normally harvest it after germination because it has a very high nutritional content at that stage. We can then incorporate them into our salads, into our sandwiches, and many other tasty ways in which we can improve our diet. Now, what's so unique about sprouts is that not only are they easy to produce, but you can do so without the use of harmful chemicals. It's a very simple process, and I'm going to demonstrate this to you today. Let's start with having our seeds, because of course you can't have a sprout without a seed. It starts with the seed. So we're going to get about, you can use a half cup, a quarter cup of seeds, depending on your preference. And it's amazing because it may look like a little seed, but these things really expand very fast and very rapidly. You'll be amazed to see these ones here that are almost finished, but looks like a little, but when you see the transformation, it will amaze you. So you're gonna put it into a jar, a jug. And remember, we're doing this with things that you have around the home, so you have no excuse not to grow green. So here I'm using a jug. You can use a jar, a recycled jar, and you basically soak the seed into some water. You can soak it for about 12 hours. If you want to, you can go beyond that. The maximum maybe 20 hours, but 12 hours would be ideal. Once you have it soaking in there, you want to ensure that you cover it with a breathable cloth. If you don't have a cheesecloth, you can simply just get this, and you can place a rubber band around the area to hold it in place. You just want something that can breathe, and you put it in a dark area. Make sure it's a dark area that you place it in, because you don't want any sunlight there to hit it directly, because you want to encourage germination in a dark place. Now, assuming that we've already had it there for about 12 hours, and we are now moving to the next stage, what you're gonna see is something looking like this. But this is not 1 day old, this is a couple days old, and there's some other steps that I need to add in there so that you'll be very clear in terms of what happens. So after you take them out about 12 hours afterwards, you want to wash them very thoroughly. Make sure that you wash it a couple times, and then you want to transfer it into either a similar jar or another jar that can be airtight. So you're either gonna seal it with that breathable cloth, or you're gonna put it in a jar like this. And I know that I said get some paper towel. You want to wet some paper towel, and when you wet it, you want to make sure that you squeeze it out as much as you can. And you want to place one set of paper towel at the bottom of the jar or the container, and you want to place another set of paper towel at the top. And this is to ensure that the sprouts always have access to moisture, but not too much moisture, because too much moisture can lead to fungal growth, and too little can cause it to be dehydrated and dry out. So to ensure success, we want paper towel at the bottom, paper towel at the top. You can also, in this process, before you put it in here, ensure that when you have, after the 12 hours has transpired, you can use any strainer that you have. You can use a colander, you can use a sieve, but you want to ensure that you can get all that moisture out. And then this will be finished in about 2 to 3 days. And to ensure that you don't have any problems with fungal growth after that, every day you can wash it with some tap water. Every day you wash it and you take care of that excess fungal buildup that may be there, and you then replace it into the jar. Again, the tissue at the bottom and another tissue on the top. And within a couple of days, you're gonna have sprouts looking something like this. You can also already see it, all the roots are there coming out. And one more day and it should be complete. And you can add these to your salads. Some people even add them to soups and sandwiches. And of course, this is Grow Green Barbados. So you're gonna see a demonstration from Chef Adrian. Make sure you tune in for that. But I told you that this is not the final destination. You can have sprouts, but you can also have microgreens. And if you're willing to take it to the next step and transition there, you can even make some more money, because sprouts, yes, they're expensive, but microgreens are also more expensive and they're packed with nutrients and antioxidants. So now we take a look at microgreens, which are basically edible seedlings of vegetables or herbs. And we harvest them as seedlings because at that stage, they're also very high in nutrients and antioxidants. If you want a healthy lifestyle, you need to add some microgreens to them. Let's get going and see how it is done, because that's really it. So as I said before, we're gonna use innovative solutions. So we have old top of a shoebox that you can use. And the first stage is that we put some compost in it, and you start to see how we packed it in terms of putting it on, but then you want to make sure you pat it down. And this compost is not moistened as yet, right? So you put that on there. The second stage is that you want to then put some moisture on to that compost. And we already put some, make sure that it's moistened, you put some moisture on there. And then after it's moistened, you want to add your seeds. Now the seed is, I'm using about a cup, half cup, but it's really about how dense you want it. You want to be able to cover the area as densely as possible, because microgreens normally grow very dense. But today we are doing, I don't know if you want to call it a cheat, but we have an advantage, because yes, we can do it with the seeds like this. We can do it like this, and I want you to see this clearly. We can do it, and we just get the seeds on. And you see that crawl in there, that's when you know you have a healthy compost. You know it's alive. You just want to spread. These seeds would actually make room for themselves. So you don't have to worry too much about them in terms of finding space. You just want to make sure you cover as much as possible. And that should be good, right? And that's how you would do it if you didn't actually sprout them first. But we have an advantage because we have some that are we would have started the sprouting process already. So for those, you can actually now take them up and you can spread them on. And these are going to be bigger than the seeds that you put on. Which means that you can do two things at the same time. You can make your sprouts, and you can take half and make it into microgreens, and you can take the other half and keep them as sprouts. Of course, we have a head start here of about 1 to 2 days on the microgreens. Then from there, you want to cover it with some compost. You just want to gently cover it. And you would want to, again, press it down firmly. Now, normally in the past, people would just pat it down like this and they would leave it to germinate. You can allow it to germinate in an area where it doesn't have light. It doesn't need light at this stage to actually germinate. And To ensure though that you have good germination and consistent germination, some are not tall, some are short, what you need to do is to put some weight on it. So if you had 2 of these trays here, you would take another tray and you would put one on top of it, and then you would put a weight on top of the last one. Or let's say you had this one here, you can take this and you can put this on top here, and then you can place a weight on the top of there. It could be a piece of board at the same side. It could be another tray filled with compost without any seed or any sprouts in it, but you want that weight on. It does 2 things. It allows it to be consistent in terms of growth, but it also allows the seedlings to be more vigorous in terms of their growth. This then would, after you have the germination and the board or whatever you place on the top would have been raised, you can then remove it and place it in sunlight, direct sunlight. Modern times we're in, so we don't only use direct sunlight. You can also use something called grow lights. If you have an area in your house where you want to grow microgreens and make some extra money, you can outfit them with grow lights. You can have stack levels and you can grow your microgreens there. Remember, these are high returns on investment. Now, how long does it take? It varies. You can get microgreens ready after doing this in about 6 to 7 days if you have a good lighting system and they have light 24 hours. If you don't have light 24 hours and you're dependent on sunlight, then you can have it in about, let's say, about 8 to maybe 12 days in terms of from planting to actually being able to reap your microgreens. Now, we need to show you the finished product, so I want you to take a look at this. Tell me what you think. Now that you know how to grow sprouts and microgreens, all that is left to do is to grow them, make some money, and live healthy. But you should also know how to cook them. And to achieve that, we have our very own Chef Adrian in our home cook segment. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Chef Adrian Cumberbatch, and this is Grow Green Barbados. And this time today, I'm making for you an arugula salad with flying fish melts and some fried flying fish, using the entire flying fish process. And I also have my microgreens. Very, very simple. If you don't want to use arugula, you can use lettuce, you can use kale, any green leafy product you could definitely use. Okay, so today is very, 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 very simple. As mentioned before, nothing too strenuous. So you're going to get your flying fish. I have my frying fish and my melts already done fried and ready to go. Season up with your local green seasoning. You add your your garlic, your onions, your chive, your shallot benny, if you could use shallot benny. All your local herbs that's growing here, blend it up nicely, make your green seasoning and season your fish and shallow fry in some flour. That is seasoned up with a little salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika powder, a little all-purpose seasoning. Very, 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 very simple, okay? So guys, with my arugula, I love arugula. Absolutely love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm gonna add a little oil and like mixture on this salad. Very simple. I'm gonna season it a little bit with my seasoning mixture. And here I have my salt, pepper, paprika powder, onion powder, garlic powder, all-purpose seasoning in there. The microgreens, a lot of chefs will use this as garnish or for salads. I'm gonna mix it up in my arugula. Get it all tossed around. Get it all lubricated. Your lettuce leaves. All right, very simple. This is very, very quick, guys. I'm gonna add a handful of salad to the dish here. Right, my flying fish, I'm going to lay my flying fish around here. Right, then I'm going to add my melts. I love, 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 love melts. And melts are the sperm sac of the flying fish. You know, you have the roe with the females, with the eggs, and the melts would be what we call melts, would be the sperm sac of the male flying fish. Okay? Get my gloves off. Very, very simple, guys. And here I have my garlic sauce. It's a homemade garlic sauce. It has mayonnaise, garlic powder, fresh garlic, some sweet chili in here. And I have a net secret ingredient, can't let you in on that yet. But I'm gonna just drizzle it with my garlic sauce, our famous garlic sauce, and sprinkle it with some fresh herbs. Always use fresh. And that is very simple there. Very, very simple. You have your arugula salad with your microgreens, your fried flying fish melts, and topped with fried flying fish. Very simple, guys. I'm Chef Adrian Cumberbatch. Remember, we're growing green, eat local, buy local. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
In addition, we have our Grow Green Champion. You need to check them out, and let's grow green together.
We love to eat what we grow what we eat. And it's not always straightforward and simple, but I have derived great satisfaction and fulfillment from being able to reduce our supermarket bill. We have to change the way we think and be able to live much more sustainably if we want the earth to continue, the planet to continue to sustain us. Under here is 2 tanks. 20,000 gallons, 12,000 gallons of rainwater in this tank and 8,000 gallons of potable water in that tank. And what we do is we have an osmosis system so that when we're cleaning up the rainwater to be our drinking water, we pass it through that. In here is where the grey water comes out. It's out of these pipes that stick up from the ground. So that's really when we wash, that overflows, and it overflows further up as well in 2 other places. And it keeps down here moist. And here is the osmosis system, which we use. And if we turn this on, you'll hear some water start to flow. The pump over there comes on, and that's now taking rainwater through this osmosis system into the water tank that we use. We lived in this house for 3 months without the public water and without the light and power. Grow Green Barbados.
Wow, that smells so good. In the next episode of Grow Green Barbados, we're going to focus on growing and consuming culinary herbs that can also be used for medicinal purposes. Join us.